Okay, so we have a problem. Fatal error call to undefined function Drupal trails variable get. Okay. So the reason we're getting Drupal trails variable get instead of just variable get is that there's no more variable get in Drupal, and so it's looking for it in the namespace that's defined in the file that's running. So it's looking in Drupal trails, and it's not finding it there either. So at this point, if you're transitioning from Drupal 7 into Drupal 8, you might be kind of shaking your head a little bit thinking, oh no variable get, no variable set, what do we do? Well, it seems so essential to Drupal to be able to store variable sets. Okay, let's take a look at a change record. So I'm going to copy variable get here, and let's jump to the change records. Now, quick note, in the previous videos where we looked at change records, I had 8.x in introduced in version, which was the wrong place for it. Instead, you want to have 8.x in the introduced in branch input. That will give you much better results. So in keywords here, I'm going to paste in variable get and hit enter. And if we look right here, it says the variable get set del API is now removed. Let's take a look at this. All right. So yeah, we get a tombstone. This indicates that this is kind of a good riddance type change to Drupal 8, something that might have been bugging people for a while. And the upshot of all of this, if we read it, is that variable get and set delete has been replaced by two separate systems. The problem was that the variable system was being used for two separate things. The first was to store configuration. So if you think of your site name, for example, if you change your site name, that would traditionally get stored in the variables table in Drupal 7. But also, state information would be stored as well. And what state means in this case is data that's useful for this instance of this site. So for example, for the Trails module, we're storing the list of pages that have been recently visited. Well, we don't necessarily want that information to be shared between multiple versions of our site, say production and development sites. We want that to kind of be independent. It should be stored for individual instances rather than globally. So we really had two systems that have actually distinctly different needs that were kind of merged into this one set of tools. So now we have the state system, you can see that here, and that's a lot like the variable set, get, delete. And so it's just almost a matter of a syntax change to use it. But there's a lot more to the configuration system, so it's kind of a different set of tools that are used with it.